Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam, and this is Talk with the Titans. You know what? Tonight we've got a special show in store for you tonight. We've got Priest and Captain of the Isupk, Mashak Mayam, in the building once again. It's a wonderful pleasure to actually have you back again. Peace, King. Shalom.
Definitely, brother. It's shalom, kalam, shalom to everybody out there. Shalom to all the brothers and all the sisters tuning in. Of course, it's good to be back on the show once again. And it's quite unfortunate that we revisiting the same topic we've been talking over here for the past few years. I mean, years after years is the same thing. But of course, ISUPK will always be the vanguards for black people. You know what I mean? We definitely want to give thanks and praise to the Most High and our King Christ, and for giving us excellent teachers and leaders in commanding General Yahanna, General Mahaiman, General Mayak, General Hazayan, General Shawama, General Kathongaba, General Kobalamat, and all the captains and officers and troopers and sisters that band together to stand strong against this current of oppression that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians consistently live in.
That's right. You know what, on a lighter note, right about now, I've got so many people at Speaker's Corner over here in the UK, you know what, literally interrogating me, questioning me, when is Brother Mashak Mayam going to come to the UK? They all can't wait to actually speak with you. So
the Most High in Christ, that's definitely, that's a humbling thing to hear. And give thanks again to the Most High in Christ for that. You know, the trip is definitely on. We just had one scheduling conflict. It was supposed to be already happened and been halfway through it or on the way back, but it's definitely still on. It would be shortly. I want to say within 1 month. 1 month again. It's definitely on. We had one little scheduling conflict, but of course this could be the Lord just, you know, you plan something, He have something else planned. You understand?
That's right. That's right. So you know what? We're gonna actually be talking about police brutality today, white supremacy. How do we overcome these things? We're gonna talk about segregation. Do we need to start segregating and moving as one, as our own people? We're also gonna be talking about nationalization. Who are we as a people, and how can we move forward? We're also gonna be tackling controversial topics such as the black lives versus the blue lives versus the white lives, and which one truly matters, and which one is actually harming the people. That's a good question right there. And also, in all these conflicts that's taking place, how do we successfully arm ourselves and protect our own? How do we protect our property? How do we protect our people? How do we protect our nation growing and going forward from here? So you know what? I'm going to hand it over to, Priest and Captain Mashak Mayam. But before I actually do that, I'm going to invite everybody who's listening in right now, because this is going to be a very powerful show. Please, 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 please share this link on Facebook, share this link on Google, share this link on any social media site that you're possibly on, and tag somebody who you think will benefit from hearing this information. Tag somebody who you know would actually gravitate to this information, because this is powerful information that's thought-provoking and is definitely going to change the way you think and hopefully change the way you act from here on out. So please share this link and tag somebody as well, because we're about to go in. So over to you, brother.
No problem. Once again, I want to say Tawada and thank you to you, Kalam, for definitely giving black people that platform in the UK like you do. We don't really have that many black outlets that echo the expression and sentiments of black people on that level. And for sure, just a big up to you for the work you've been doing to give black people an outlet, because as you can see, we do not have an outlet. We're being pressured and oppressed, but with no outlet, and it's damaging us. Anything you compress, it wants to escape some way. If you compress water is damn near incompressible, but you put pressure on it, eventually it's going to burst at the seams. And black people don't have an outlet. That's why that riot happened yesterday or the day before in Hyde Park, where they backed them buppies up, something horrible. Bottles, stabbings. It was something rough, and that's what you see happening throughout America, throughout the UK, throughout Central and South America and the Caribbean islands. And this is happening to us on a level that's not happening to anyone else. And this is something we closely need to look at and examine, that no matter what, the rate at which we are targeted by these racist white devils, who you would call the Caucasian or the European, but of course the white man is the devil. Let me get that out first and foremost. And the target that is on the back of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is bigger, bolder, and more important than in any other race. Like you would find it hard to see any cases of Africans being murdered the way we are in our streets. You would find it hard to find cases of Chinese people being murdered, Ethiopian, East Indians, white people, hell, Arabs. The Arabs fly planes into America's buildings, go in and shoot up the damn malls and threatening everybody. You would think that, not that it would be right, but you would think as a natural reaction, them gun-ho old good patriots, them good devils who bleed red, white, and blue, would start pulling the Arabs over, and Arabs would be found with bullet holes in the back of their head and bleeding in the front seat of their car, and their woman with the burqa crying, a burqa soaked in tears because her husband just got laid out at the hands of some devil. You would think that would be happening, but that's not happening. And that ain't by coincidence. That is by design. That is by shared purpose and intent. And it's something black people need to understand, that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are one nation of people. We are the same people. We are the nation of Israel, no matter what you believe, what you've been taught to believe, or what you have been comfortable believing for all your life, the years of your life. From tonight, you hear what we're about to bring out. You should now receive it openly. And if you question it, bring the questions here. Bring the questions here, and we're going to correct everything. Well, Kalam said the Isupk is the foremost Israelite group. I just want to make one correction, brother. You know me, I'm a stickler for detail. We are the only Israelite authority on the planet Earth. If it's not part of the Isupk, you are not in the truth. You just a Christian with fringes. You just a Christian organization that loves the white man and says Shabbat Shalom and everything else. But when it comes to actually teaching black, Hispanic, and Native people the truth and the solutions, that's the job of Isupk, and we've been doing it well for years. And people are now starting to realize that them same crazy Negroes with them braids and them crazy headpieces and the shields and the chains, they was right for saying the white man is the devil. We were always right for saying, separate from this devil. It's harder to kill you when you're 50 miles away from him. When you're not in his neighborhood, he's not in your neighborhood. You have your own, you don't need him. You understand? If I could, just to go back, give me that scripture in Deuteronomy, Yagawa, right? Deuteronomy 28. All right, once again, we prove everything in the Bible. And of course, the Bible told us one of the curses that would befall, one of the punishments that would befall us was being oppressed by another nation in a very specific way. Go ahead, nice and loud, all right?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young.
Right, a nation of fierce countenance. The Lord will set a nation of fierce countenance over you. And the white man has a fierce countenance towards us. Now, this once again, this ain't talking about literally, because you look at him because of Christianity and media propaganda. You think, how could this sweet, innocent, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned person be so evil? And that's why black people consistently are shocked when we get slaughtered by him. You heard the sister in the car in Minnesota, Philandro Castile's wife. She was like, I can't believe they would do this. Like, it's still shocking. Like, black people kill each other, and we it's damn near we accept that we are evil. Like, we take it like, well, you know, that's just niggas. That's just Negroes. That's just how we are. But when a white man does it, it's like, oh my God, what's wrong with him? When it should be reversed. It should be reversed. He is the evil. He is the devil. He is the fierce one that has no regard for the old, neither the young. You see how they deal with us on a daily basis. You could pull up, I mean, clips upon stories, old or young, male or female. You pull it up, and this devil is as brutal as they come. As brutal as they come. And if black people would see what we say, when you deal with these white people, it is an animal you're speaking to. It's an animal in a shirt and a tie. It's an animal with a badge and a gun, with a license to kill. And he would kill you for breathing. He would kill you for coughing and sneezing. This has nothing to do with lawful or unlawful. This is a monster we're living under. You understand? You there, Kalam?
I'm here. I'm with you. I'm just reflecting back on our previous show. We had a brother on that literally said near enough the same thing. That these people are straight beasts. They're straight monsters. This is nothing new. Racism and white supremacy, this is nothing new. This is just who they are in their nature. We should not be expecting anything different. We shouldn't be shocked. It's like they are who they are. When you're being stopped by a police, make sure you realize that it's a beast. It's not a cuddly, furry animal. It's a pet. It is a literal beast that is waiting and willing and praying to actually destroy you.
Exactly. And his function, once again, we have to understand, and this wisdom, this type of wisdom only comes from the Israelite school of UPK, and you've heard us say it. But black people do not have a police problem. You understand? This is not a police problem. That thing where you say is the cops, that's media propaganda that would force, it would create sides. So now, if they push, we have a police problem. What does a good officer now have to do? He has to align himself with the police, because nowadays he cannot go to the black masses and prove he's good. We're not going to accept it. And it's the same thing with us. They think it's a black problem. You understand? It's a Hispanic problem. This is what it is. We do not have a police problem. We have a white racist devil in uniform problem, which is otherwise known as white supremacy. You understand? White supremacy permeates every single police department, every government agency, every department that comes under the governmental umbrella. And it has been this way since the days of slavery. Your modern day police department is parented by your slave patrols. That's where it's parented from. It comes from that. Those slave patrols that were deputized or given authority to kill, murder, rape, lynch, do anything to someone who was considered property hundreds of years ago. When we would running away from what? Oppression. Running away from being raped and murdered and hung and worked to death, and your children being taken from you and sold. We would run away. We would try to escape, because anybody would run away. A deer runs away from a lion. Nobody says the deer is unfair. Nobody says the deer is wrong. You understand? Nobody says that. And we would run away from this devil, and those slave patrols is what evolved. You could go back down there into the 16th century, since the 1500s. You would find these slave patrols coming in, growing. You had different arms of them. They went by different names. And that's where you would find their roots. And that is what is today your modern day police force. Coming from that slave patrol, going into your lynch mobs, going into your sheriff department, and finally the KKK removed the pillowcase and put on a badge and a gun. Right here in Maryland, the former chief of police in Maryland was a grand KKK dragon. Hear me well, I ain't making this up. He was a grand dragon of the KKK, openly. And what's Baltimore famous for? Beating a Negro bloody. It's famous for it. Baltimore has one of the highest rates of police lawsuit settlements. Why? Because it's normal to go punch a Negro in his face. It's normal to rape a woman, beat them bloody, drop them wherever, or just kill them like Freddie Gray and walk away scot-free. You understand? That's where it comes from, and we have to understand we cannot join this devil. We must separate ourselves from him. We must separate,
That's it.
and
That's
we
it.
must return to our power, the most high power of this Bible. He is the one that's going to slaughter this devil where he stands. He's the one that's going to bathe the streets of America and the UK. Don't think anything happening over there. We know about all these cases. Mark Duggan and everybody else come all the way up. You understand? The UK, and that's to show you the problem. The UK police is notorious for not even having guns. But yet still, there's death by guns from the police. There's brothers up to last year, December, they pulled up on a brother who they thought was going to escape from prison and lit the car. You understand? Now, I ain't saying he was no criminal, but I see devils doing dumb nonsense every day and they end up in handcuffs. They get their day in court. Adam Lanza, who shut up the elementary school, he got his day in court. The James T. Holmes, who they fondly call the Joker, who shut up the movie theater in Colorado. He is sitting in a cell right now waiting his day in court. He shut up the movie theater. They caught him in his car with a trunk full of automatic weapons, and he rigged his apartment building with C4 to blow up. And they didn't kill him. They didn't beat his brains in. They didn't do anything like that. They didn't falsify reports. They put handcuffs on him and gave him a meal and a prison guard, and he's alive and well today. You understand? We have to understand who we're dealing with, and we need to separate from him and turn back to our power. We the children of Israel. We're not anybody else.
Before you go into that, because I got something that ties in just perfectly, as well as everybody who's watching right now, if you want to actually ask any questions, please type it in the questions section, in the comment section down below, and I'll definitely relay it on to Brother Mashak Mayam. As well, we're definitely going to be taking some phone calls a little bit later on inside of the show. So if you do want to come onto the show right now and have your opportunities to speak and discuss things with Brother Mashak Mayam, just inbox me and I will send you the link. If you are in the UK and you want a number to phone in, message me or just leave a comment and I will send you the number to call in as well. You know what? Something that ties in just smoothly into that. We've got a question or comment here by, I believe, a sister or a brother. Actually, I believe it's a sister, Shira Yisrael. And he says, we really should be tired of this treatment. What do we do now? And I know you're just about to touch on to that. But before you touch on that, please, everybody who's watching right now, if you're enjoying the information, please, as well as liking, hit the share button and let everybody know that we're live right now with Isupk, and it's about to get heated up. We're attacking white supremacy and we're going against police brutality, and we're giving you solutions of what you can do to best protect yourself, your family, your children, and the nation as a whole. So anyway, Brother Mashak Mayam, you literally touched onto something very poignant right there about what we should do now in terms of coming together as a household of or a family of Hebrew Israelites. Could you just expound on that a bit further, and in terms of segregation and coming together and making ourselves holy, making ourselves separate from everybody else? So could you expound upon that a bit further?
Definitely, and that's actually a good point that we have reached as a people. The fact that we can now ask, what do we do now? What do we do now? And that's good, because now people are realizing everything else that's been presented to us is not working. The Islam isn't working. As much work as those brothers have been doing, and they sincerely try to help black people, that is not working. You understand? That is not working. The Christianity is not working. That has nothing. It's not helping us. It's not doing anything to us. What we have to do is look at what are these nations who are not subject to this type of abuse. Why is this not happening to them? Why is it? And it's really because they are totally separate from their oppressors. They're totally separate from America. In the UK, they're separate from the British government. Look at the Brexit recently. Why did the UK vote to get out? Because white people feel overrun and threatened with all these other nations there. And they separate. They did something called self-segregation, which is the only way you are going to survive an assault. We need to separate ourselves. Nothing is good, and nothing else is going to work. You had the Black Panther Party. They didn't work. You have the new Black Panther Party. It's still not going to work. What's going to work is separating from it and turning back to the Lord. That's the only way. You cannot fight this devil. You could put up a fight, but it's not going to work. Give me Zephaniah. Go ahead. Go to
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation, not desire.
Now understand, this is Zephaniah, man. This is written thousands of years ago. Go in any one of your holy books. Bring your holy men and show me in your books where their prophets wrote that in thousands of years ago, the same thing they wrote still applies. The Bible says, gather together. Gather together, O nation, not desired. And there ain't nobody on the earth who is not desired more than us. There's nobody on the earth who's hated more than the black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. There's nobody on the earth who's hated more than the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian woman. Look, just yesterday, the attack on that sister Leslie Jones, who's the token Negro on Saturday Night Live, while I have a problem with her constantly taking a check to be a damn loud-mouth buffoon, always playing the role of the coon for the devil. She made them so much money and they turned on her. Everybody hates black people with a perfect hatred. You understand? And the Lord said, gather together. Gather together. We need to separate and come under one umbrella, one banner, which is the house of Israel, the nation of Israel, and serve our power and obey his laws. Let me get one more scripture. Give me it in the Maccabees. Hold on one second.
There's also Ecclesiastes 9.
Let me get this one first in Maccabees. Go ahead. Not Maccabees. You know what I'm talking about. In Judith. Judith 5 and 17. Come on quickly. Who have it? All right, Judith 5 and 17. This is a heathen king. All right, a heathen king who is telling the Greeks at this time, he's advising them on how they can take over Israel. You understand? You have it on call quickly.
Jude chapter 5, verse 17. And whilst they sin not before their God, they prosper.
Say, read it again.
And whilst they sin not before their God, they prosper.
Right. As long as we don't sin against our father, as long as we don't sin against our parents, we are going to prosper. Meaning we are going to be victorious in battle. We are going to prosper and rule and be on top, and no one is going to touch us. Go ahead.
Because the God that hated iniquity was with them.
Because the power we serve, the God of this Bible, is God. He's the only God of the earth. All the prophecies in this book have come to pass and are still coming to pass. Every description in this book is the truth. There's no book on the earth that prophesied anything else but this Bible. And this power we serve is God. And he hates iniquity. And as long as we disobey him, we are going to suffer. If we obey him, we will prosper in every single way. Go ahead.
But when they departed from the way which he appointed them.
Right. Now the Lord appointed us a certain way, which is the laws of this Bible. Don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Don't worship other gods in Christianity and Islam and Buddhism and everything else that we call ourselves and we take hold of. He appointed us a certain way to be, a separate way. Don't marry these other nations. Interracial marriage is a sin and weakens our society, weakens it. He appointed us a way. Go ahead.
They were destroyed.
Read again from the top.
But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed.
And when we departed from that way, we destroyed. And brother, you can't tell me, nobody on the earth can tell me we ain't destroyed right now. We are still the greatest people on the earth, but we are full out destroyed. And if you don't see it, then you will witness more people die. You will witness more of our people die. We are so destroyed. That sister crying in the back seat with her hands tied and her 4-year-old daughter has to comfort her. while their father's corpse lays in a car in front of them. We are a destroyed people, fully destroyed. And no one is going to jail for that. No one is going to jail for Alton Sterling. No one will lose a job or a paycheck because we mean nothing to these heathens. We do not matter. No one goes to jail for killing a roach or running over a dog. And we're the same. We're the same. We are a destroyed people. And the only way we're going to get out of this is to come back together as one nation of people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and serve our power. We serve him, brother. The white man will drop dead before he can squeeze the trigger. He'll drop dead. Eric Garner, the coroner's report said Eric Garner got a heart attack and he died of asphyxiation from his heart attack. That's what they said. Now you mean to tell me them 6 cops who jumped on him, they couldn't drop dead instead? The Lord could make that happen. He could make that happen. He did it before and he'll do it again. The problem is we are so oppressed, we are not allowed to raise our head up. We are not allowed to think outside the box, and that's why it's so beautiful what the Isupk is doing. We've been calling the white man the devil since 1969. He's been the devil, he's the devil today, and he will always be the devil. You understand? And you for sure fall up in here and separate. You're going to see a stark change with our condition.
You know what? I have to ask you this question because we've got listeners, viewers watching from all around the world and from all different denominations. I want to know what 5 practical steps can we give them on a micro level that can actually they can actually see a result. They can actually see a change taking place within inside of their own vicinity. So, we've talked about self-segregation. How do we practically enforce self-segregation? How do we practically say, for example, do we now say, all right, let's stop, for example, shopping and doing businesses with people outside of our own nationality, our own race, our own identity? Do we stop doing business with them, and do we now start coming together and doing business with our own people? Let's stop wearing, the secular clothes. Let's wear clothes that is created by Hebrew Israelites, for example. Let's wear that type of clothing. Let's actually, stop going to the police, for example, when anything goes wrong with inside of our communities. Let's look towards our captains, our priests, our elders to actually solve the problems rather than ringing the police. What practical steps can we do to actually, benefit and affect change on a micro level?
Definitely. Now, I understand what you're saying. Okay, now, the problem with that is on a micro level, that's not possible on a micro level. And let me explain what I'm saying before anybody misunderstands what I'm saying. What we experience is a 400-year-old machine that's been kept. You understand? There's no micro level to operate on. This is going to have to be a full out turn, a U-turn. You understand? Now, what I believe you're saying is, what can people start doing? The first thing people have to start doing is finding the Israelite school at UPK, and that's not an idle boast. Because I'll tell you why. Even if we do separate and do business with each other and support each other and make our own industries, our philosophies, some of us are Muslims, we're still going to support the Arabs. Some of us are Christians, we're still going to support the white man. Some of us love the continent of Africa, whether you're a Nuwapian, 5% or more, an Egyptologist, those resources are going to find their way there anyway. What we need is first of all a change up here to understand who we are and what we need to do that's separate. And really, that is damn near the only thing that's necessary. When it comes to the clothes we wear are our clothes. It's just white people took it and branded it themselves. You remember back in the day, those denim suits, those was brothers making them suits out in New York. And the white man coming, what's he want is Mark Echo, he's a devil. And then took our stuff. When brothers was wearing Kalkanai and stuff like that, those were black businesses. You understand? Like, we have that propensity to already be separate. The problem is our mentality that would allow the great stuff that we have to escape to these other nations. So we're going to now have to self-segregate by first, you're going to have to find the UPK. That's why it's so heavy that we're all over the place. The brothers in the UK, you'll find them. I don't care if you're as far north or as far south. I don't care where you are, from Coventry, Manchester, London, you find them brothers out there. And you get this knowledge in your head first, because everyone is asking that question. Now, once you get that knowledge and you understand who you are, you're a Hebrew Israelite. Your nation comes first before anybody else. Now we can say, okay, we set up businesses with our people. Let the dollar circulate some more. We set up clothing stores from our people, food stores. The Chinese man making millions, billions of dollars every year from black people only. Forget about the Chinese weave shop. You also saw what happened with the sister there in London that the brothers in UK did the story on, where she opened up a black hair store selling black products, and the Chinese stores around her cut their prices by 50% and told the black customers they were going to drive her out of business in a month. Meaning they're making so much money amongst themselves, they can cut their profit so someone of another race does not eat. We can do the same. We can do the same so that nobody else eats off of us. Nobody else lives off of us. We can take everything back, but that can only happen if you understand who you are and who you are not. That's the big deal. The first step is finding ISUPK, getting in there, getting all the way in there and seeing who you are and recognizing that the white man is not your friend, the Arab and the Chinese is not your friend, the African is not your friend. And no, we love them. We think we dark like them and the original man. BS.
That's right.
BS. Hot BS too. They ain't us. We are not them, and we need to fully separate from them. I saw a video with that African Akon that pulled over in Atlanta and took a picture and hugged the police and said, "I love y'all." And they called one, the cop pulled him over, called another cop and said, "Yeah, this is Akon here." And they came and signed, got his autograph signed and pictures taken. Because he's not us. He doesn't bleed the way we bleed. He don't understand it. There's no African on the earth understands the life of a black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, none. There's no Chinese man, no Arab, nothing. We need to first get taught that and extract our mind from these nations, and then everything else will fall into place. So this is what I'll say. The first 5 steps is really one. Find the Israelite school at UPK. And find Commanding General Yahanna and hang on to his every word like you are hanging on a cliff for dear life. Follow his instructions, follow his orders, follow his teachings, because he got it from men above him who got it from the Lord. And that would bring us back into one nation. That's the first and damn near the only step, brother, because in this nation we have, brother, we have ridiculous talent from the Lord, where we don't need these other nations. We don't need these other nations for food, clothing, healthcare, anything, nothing. But we can't have a nation when the head of the surgery in Dallas, he's operating on these cops and he's feeling compassion for them. But nobody feels compassion for black people. He down there, he's part of a nation that would get slaughtered every day. And if he doesn't have that stethoscope and driving that car and he running on the streets, them cops would kill him too. But instead of operating on brothers and sisters in the hood, in the ghetto, without Obamacare and without this and that and bringing our nation up, he's serving the white man. And because he's a Christian. You understand? He's serving them and he's a Christian. You have all these superstars, Tyrese Gibson, Snoop Dogg is the latest one, through Farrakhan, is loving these Arabs. We don't need that. We don't need to love them. What we need to love is our own.
That's right.
And we need to know who we are and who we are supposed to serve. All right?
That's right. Now, in saying that, you know, we've got brothers all around the world. We've got brothers in the Caribbean, we've got brothers in Europe, Netherlands, etc., UK, all around the world. What is the one central hub we can tell those brothers to go to find these different camps that may be in their particular location? Because I can see in your background that there's a website, but it's kind of covered right now. So is there a central location that we can send them to right now to actually get in touch with other brothers?
You definitely, like, okay, number one, wherever you are in the world, you just type in ISUPK, and you know this white man, he has his searches based on your location, so it'll come up. If you're in Puerto Rico, we have an officer out there. You understand? If you're in UK, we have a school out there. You in the West Coast of America, we have school out there. You in the Midwest, we have schools there. Just type in ISUPK. And brother, whatever comes up, there's going to be contact information there. Now, of course, our headquarters is Harlem, New York. That's where we were born. That's where we were bred. That's where we learned to stand and fight for black people, right? And sometimes against black people when they fight for the white man. But that's where we learn to defend our people. Our headquarters is, of course, Harlem, New York. But listen, you type in ISUPK anywhere. Anywhere you get in contact with the school, you're going to plug in. Just like America is a machine, ISUPK is a machine, a well-oiled machine. You contact this school, you're going to get plugged right in and learn how to change, number one, and how to really fight this devil, and understand that we are not in a position physically to take him on. You understand? We are not in that position. Even America, when they were fighting the British, America couldn't fight the British. Britain was the most powerful thing on the earth at that time. America had to go get an ally, somebody who was equally as strong or stronger, or together, and they went and got the French. And America got boats and guns and, money, everything, supplies from the French and troops to help buffer the attack from Britain. Now, the white man is the most powerful thing on the earth. He's the most powerful. You'd be a fool to think your little AK-7 with your 100 rounds in your basement is going to put a dent in his empire. You need someone way bigger, way stronger, way more ruthless than he is. Someone that would rip his babies in half. And that's the most high power we serve. You understand? So anywhere in the earth you are, you type ISUPK in. You understand? Okay, if you're in the Caribbean, Hispanic countries, wherever, you type ISUPK in, you have a whole Hispanic line set up, Spanish speaking, everything set up. You come right up in here and you're going to understand what it is to serve the Lord and be a nation again.
That's right. And I've got the website lined up right here, which is isupk.org. So if you want to go and see what's going on with ISUPK, you can come right here, isupk.org. You can listen to audios, watch the videos, see General Yahanna live, which is every Monday, 9 p.m. on the live radio show as well. Please, 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 if you want to donate your tithes and donations, you can also donate it right here on isupk.org as well.
All right. Also, too, Kalam, if I could just interject, the isupk.com will also take you to the website. Like, we don't have all those domains locked in. All right, isupk.org, isupk.com. It would send you right there. You understand? And also, one more thing, watching the videos is good. Watching the radio shows is good. But brother, we are at a point where you can't just sit back and watch anymore. You're gonna have to get fully in this body and be prepared, because if you observe what's been going on in the past 2 years, 3 years, it's been escalating. Things have been escalating, not only with us, but on the international scale. And it's getting ready to go full speed downhill, brother. And if you don't know where to find us in those days, you're going to be short. All right?
Right. 1 second, real quickly. All right. I'm just reading the questions. Again, if you got any questions or comments, please, please, please tag Titans TV, and I'll get your questions asked or answered by our brother Mashak Mayam. We've also got a few members on the panel here with us. We've got a brother from the ISUPK who's with us right now, Sakani. We've also got brother Tazariak with us, and we've also got some Team Osiris members with us as well. So we're definitely going to have a nice discussion a little bit later on following this. So, earlier on you talked about, we're not at the level and capacity to actually have a physical warfare with, with, how can I say it in the most politically friendly way? With, as you were saying,
the devil.
The devil itself. So we're not there. We don't have that physical capacity. Of course, we're building ourselves, mentally, emotionally, and physically as well as economically, to actually be in a position where we can overtake this nation. Okay. Now I want to know, if we can't physically fight them, should we actually be arming ourselves at the same rate? Should we actually be physically training and physically arming ourselves to be in preparation of anything going wrong?
Okay, now this is what I'm saying. The ISUPK has always taught to be able to defend yourself. Once again, we ain't Christian. Like I'm looking at the comment board, I'm laughing because I'm seeing all these brothers. I know they mean well, but because of Christianity, like they think because you have a Bible, you speak Christianity. The Christian church has nothing to do with the Bible. Christian church has given us Christianity to pacify us, to make us sing, dance, and hope and wait for a white man to break the sky. Jesus Christ, our King, who is a black man, who is a nigger according to the Bible, he said, go buy a sword. He said, go arm yourself. He said, defend yourself. Your life ain't cheap. Your life ain't cheap. Learn to defend yourself. Go get something legal. You understand? Be legal about it too. Don't go just get something.
I think most of our brothers and sisters out there haven't been. Sorry, pardon me. I believe our brothers and sisters out there, believe that the Lord Yeshua was a very meek individual. But could you give us some quotes for those people who don't know that he actually ordered his followers to buy swords?
No sweat. First, give me Luke 19 and 27. Get me where he said, go buy a sword. Sell your cloak and buy a sword. First, give me Luke 19 and 27. All right? Like everybody go understand this right here. And what you see on the street from ISUPK is the Spirit of the Lord. That fierce disposition, that fierce vibe, where we will take it there where it needs to go. That is the Spirit of the Lord. You have it? Let's get Luke 19 and 27.
Luke chapter 19, verse 27. But those mine enemies.
But what?
But those mine enemies.
This is Luke 19 and 27. This is Christ talking. The one who you know as Jesus Christ. Of course, his name in the Hebrew is Yahawashi HaMashiach, right? Which means the Lord's anointed Savior. He said, those mine enemies. That's cut number one, that he ain't love everybody. Ain't no man who love everybody gonna have enemies. He didn't love everybody. He wasn't loved by everyone. The book called Medieval Europe, they have Christ's damn rap sheet in there, and they called him a dangerous and fanatical revolutionary. Like, he wasn't this pacifist. He wasn't this sissy white boy that we think. He said, and those mine enemies, go ahead.
Which would not that I should reign over them.
Which would not that I should reign over them, which means what? Those mine enemies who refuse to have me rule. Because some people don't want Christ to rule. Right. You understand? Some people do not want a black man to rule. Majority of those people are heathens. And sad to say, some of those people are our own. Our own people don't want a black man to rule. You know? That's why I vote for Barack Obama. Because he ain't black, he's African. You comfortable with him in office. But Christ, nobody want him. He said, those mine enemies, which would not that I should rule. Go ahead.
Bring hither.
Bring them here. Go get them. Bring them here.
And slay them.
And do what?
And slay them.
Hug them.
Slay them.
Give them a hug and a pat on the back.
Slay them.
Give them some candy and say, Jesus loves you.
Slay them.
Christ said, go get them enemies who don't want to obey me and kill them. Where?
Slay them before me.
In front of my face. That's what Christ said. So you want to go join the new Black Panther Party or do something simple and go kill 5 cops. Listen, I understand your frustration. I understand it. Don't get me wrong. But brother, I want to kill a devil when Christ returns and sell his children to Africans. That's what I want to do. I want to have a white slave trade and sell 400,000 boys and girls into slavery. I don't give a damn over 5 cups or 2 cups. You understand? And if they don't want to obey my words, which is the words of Christ, in that day, they're going to meet their death.
That's right.
They're going to meet their death rightfully. So we know for sure Christ was not non-violent. He was not a non-violent person. Give me the other one first. I got it.
Luke chapter 22, verse 36. Then said he unto them, but now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one.
Exactly. Let him take his purse, which is what they would carry coin in, and script, which is paper money or like a monetary note, an IOU or something. If he don't have a sword, let him take that and sell his cloak, his clothes, his whatever garment he have a value, and go buy a sword if you don't have it. So yeah, go get yourself it. Go get yourself an AK, protect your home. Get these. Me personally, I like them foreigns. Them brothers always talking about I'm whipping a foreign. I whip them things you can't pronounce and go bow at night. That's what I have. So for sure, go get your stuff to defend yourself. But you would be a fool to think you are going to liberate people who do not want to be liberated. You're going to go fight the white man, and then Oprah Winfrey is going to have a special about you. And Michael Jordan and LeBron James still going to play basketball. You understand? And Usain Bolt still going to run track and field and go and kiss some white Russian broad in her mouth. You'd be a fool to think doing it. Now I understand how it could get into your head to do it. I understand it. But doing that is personal, short-lived gratification. It's not really helping black people. It's just gonna give you temporary relief. Don't you remember after Michael Brown, the brother from Baltimore, went to New York and said, I'm gonna give 2 pigs their wings and kill them? You don't remember that? When the whole nation cried when Giuliani came out and cried for them 2 cops in New York? Has that stopped cop killings? Has that stopped them from killing our women and raping our women? Has that made black people change? Has that made us come together? Hell no. It won't, and it never will. It never will.
All right. Once again, please, if you've got any questions or comments, tag them down below, and I'm definitely going to ask it to my brother Mashak Mayam. I'm actually going to invite, our panel members to actually have a say, give some comments, or ask the brother any questions. So I'm going to start on my right-hand side right now. Brother Tazariak, if you are able and capable of speaking, just unmute your mic and just commend the brother. Okay, I don't think Brother Tazariak is available. Brother Sakani, are you available? Oh no, Brother Tazariak.
Yeah, I'm on the line.
Okay. Did you want to add anything? Peace.
Captain Mashak, is that okay with you, sir?
Go ahead, brother. Yabasham Shabakatah.
Hey, Yabasham Shabakatah. You know, we have very strict orders in this school. I would not speak if not given Captain Mashak's permission. But
they don't understand that there is more powerful than any hollow point from an AK.
That's right.
That right there, order and respect. That there is more powerful than any bullet you could fire. Now you take that same honor and respect and brotherhood and multiply that across a nation. Now we're gonna have something.
That's right.
Now we're gonna have something. Seeing all the comments, everybody who want Christ's number and all of that. You don't want Christ to call you. You don't want to be able to speak to the Lord. What you want to do is fall in line like every brother has done and band together tight, and you're going to see some real power. Go ahead, Ak.
Hey, the water, sir. I appreciate it. Yabasham Shabakatah. I think what Captain Mashak, as every brother in the school is doing, when what we've been doing since 1969 is really presenting the only solution that will ever fix the condition of black people. And that is brotherhood. That is coming together under one body, which is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yahanna, resurrecting the name of Christ, resurrecting the Most High, bringing out the white man as the devil since '69. Nobody wanted to listen to us every time we said it on the streets. Every time the men that came before us, the men that came before Commander General Yahanna, the men that came after up until now, and then now is being smack dab in our face. And then the brothers that's going out there and shooting the police, although I don't agree with that method of action, I can understand their frustration. But even with that, it'll be short-lived because there is no type of structure, there is no order, there is no like without order, like the Bible say, let everything be done in decency and order. And without that, we will always fall. Without that, we won't survive. And even to give a biblical proof, Moses was just as angry as black people. When you look at the story of the Exodus, Moses was just as angry as those black men, and that's why he slew that Egyptian. But even slaying that Egyptian is not what got us free. What got us free is when he came back and told Pharaoh to leave us alone and let us serve the Most High, and united the nation. And then the Lord sent plagues on the Egyptians. The Lord sent murder, death, and destruction. And the Israelites, all we had to do was come together and show unity. Our power is not in how many guns we got or how much of an individual force, how much weight you can lift. Our power is in the very brotherhood that we will not do. Like all them Bloods and Crips that's going to come together and unite for a little while, it's going to be short-lived, and then they're going to be going right back to what they was always doing. What we have to do is unite as a nation. Until then, this what they call white supremacy or police brutality will reign supreme until we come together. That's all I wanted to say, sir.
Damn right, brother. You damn right. To water.
I am the bar, sir.
All right, thank you. I'm going to invite everybody else on the panel. My other Israelite brother Sakani, are you there?
Yes, Shalom. Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay.
Shalom,
Khansa Shalom. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatha.
And just so you know, Kalam, this is Officer Parasha. This is the brother in charge of the school over in the UK. And this is the foremost authority on Israel in the UK right now. And everybody should go check this brother out. Check out his camps, his tapes, the classes. There are classes all the time. Do lectures. They're putting in the work and giving black people that outlet. So you don't have to go clash with some cop in Hyde Park and get your behind locked up. And nothing happens. Go ahead, Al.
Khansa, I just wanted to say, you know, this shows that the only way is the ISUPK. I mean, for a long time, you know, black people have been following Christianity, Islam, Rasta, you know what I mean? And as we can see, none of it's working out. We end up loving everyone else and then hating one another. So this is showing us that clearly these religions and these philosophies ain't fixing blacks and Hispanics. But, you know, the only way we will get fixed is if we, you know, come into the ISUPK.
You're damn right. You for sure right about that, because it fixed you, it fixed me, it fixed everybody else. And we for sure way more single-minded now. We are way more single-minded now and understand what most people don't understand.
That's right. That's right. Brother, real quickly, because I know we've got a lot of people tuning in right now in the UK, and they may be, you know, not aware of the ISUPK in UK in terms of the YouTube channel. Could you just, you know, give our audience some information on where they can actually find, you know, the ISUPK teaching in the UK, teaching in the streets of Birmingham, teaching and actually doing classes as well?
Yeah, sure. And we teach in Birmingham town on a Saturday, starting from 12 till 5 o'clock. So we will always be there. Then we have a YouTube channel as well. It's called ISUPK United Kingdom. You know, we have the street teachings on there, and also some of the online classes too. And we also do classes twice a week. Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and also on a Saturday starting at 10 a.m. And if you want to contact the school, the contact number is 079 35 39 2139.
Thank you. Could you repeat that once more, just in case?
Yeah, sure. And the contact number is 079 35 39 2139.
All right. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. My brother's actually doing awesome work over in Birmingham Town Center. You know what? You have to check it out. You have to check it out and see what is actually taking place, because it's amazing to see, you know what, this actually taking place in the UK, seeing hordes of individuals crowded around, wanting to know more information, and just seeing how other races actually interact once actually hearing the truth, and how, you know, it agitates them. Is a very interesting sight to actually see. So please check out our brothers from the UK doing awesome work. Now I want to,
Kalam, if I could interject right there.
go ahead.
Like I've experienced this both here, and I've seen it on the tapes over there and speaking to the brothers. There's only one race of people that lose their mind, which is the white man. I've seen Arabs come up to those brothers and looked at them and gave them the nod and said, what you're doing is right. I've seen Africans do it. The white man loses his mind because his slaves are getting wise. But these other nations, it's like they know who we are. And they understand, and they see, okay, these brothers are starting to stand up and they're telling the truth. You understand? And that's they understand it because they are together with their people. They obey their laws, they keep their culture, they come under one umbrella, one government, and they know if something happens to them, their leaders will fight on their behalf. You go out and take up arms to go against this devil, Al Sharpton ain't showing up. Jesse Jackson ain't showing up. Farrakhan ain't show up for that brother who went and shot them 5 cops. Well, he didn't show up, and he was just talking about calling for 10,000 killers last year to kill 10,000 of them. He ain't show up. And that's what I'm trying to say. If we ain't together as one nation, and this ain't religion, God ain't give us religion, he gave us laws. What religion is thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, thou shalt not commit adultery. That's not religion, that's laws. And if we obey these laws and come together and have one rulership, brother, now we can talk some business. Now we can talk business. But until that, it's going to be an emotional outbreak that's going to be short-lived. You understand?
Okay, brother Konsu, if you're there in the spirit of unity, spirit of brotherhood and unity, please, if you got any comments or questions to make to our brother in ISUPK, please, the floor is open to you.
Peace, man. What's happening? Team Osiris on the horizon. I would like to, extend a respectful, sign of adoration to the brother and his efforts to bring about unity. I would like a statement. I mean, it's nothing to really. I think the brother's being straightforward and saying that it's an emergency situation where we have to put aside our religion and deal with our culture and protect each other out here in the world. And we have to take on a global view of our culture and the importance of preserving our culture. And I think that's what's important. Me being in the United States, we have different cultural challenges, but we're all bonded as the same people. I do say that the revolution that we need not be televised. We need to understand COINTELPRO, espionage, and be tactical in what we need to do. And that needs to be a different conversation in a different venue. But I definitely wholeheartedly understand and respect what the brother is saying.
I appreciate that, brother. Most High in Christ, definitely. What's your name again, brother?
My name is Kansu Sheshmamunke.
And you're in America or you're in the UK?
America, Chicago.
No problem. And I fully understand what you're saying about the COINTELPRO and the art of war. But the laws in this Bible talk about that. The laws in this Bible are going to keep us so separate. There's no way to have it. COINTELPRO only works because we take on the philosophies of the heathens. And that is an avenue to infiltrate. If there's no philosophy that bridges these people from those people, how do you have someone infiltrated? Whether they be from another nation or even blacks and Hispanics who you brainwash and you plug in, they're going to be found out. They're going to be pushed out. They're going to be dealt with. And, brother, one more thing. When black people stand together, even if it's to do evil, if black people together in one mind is a very dangerous and scary thing to the heathens. That's why they don't ever want us together. Someone was going to be deathly afraid to get in anywhere once you're together. Once we together, brother, that stuff ain't gonna work. I'm telling you straight up. That stuff is not going to work. It's never going to work.
So if I could.
Go ahead, Alan.
And so heavy what the captain is saying, because you see clips on YouTube, especially in the UK, where there's a brigade of police in SWAT uniform. And the brothers and sisters in the UK are together marching, throwing, even though it's wrong, but you see the brotherhood together. And they all had to run across the street away from them because they see all the brothers and sisters are together. And we have to understand that all these nations, like the captain said, are together. They understand unity. They understand the importance and the benefits of being together as a nation. But we don't. So until we know the importance and the benefits of brothers, Hispanics, Native American Indians, or the West Indians, all 12 tribes of Israel coming together with one mindset and one important duty, which is to follow the laws, love your brother, and separate from these nations.
That's right.
Like the captain said, then we can talk about business. Then we can talk about the economics and the financials. We can all start there once we separate from this.
Yeah, we could talk about some revenge.
Come.
At that point, revenge is on the table. At that point, you understand? But we're going to first have to band together. These nations all have one religion, one constitution. Not saying that we have a religion, but we have a constitution, which is the laws in this book. And I would put a challenge out to anyone, whether it's America or the UK. If we are wrong and you say we only about waiting on somebody to come from the sky, present me with something that says who we are, explains our condition, and gives me the solution, and I will follow you tomorrow. I will build you an army and you a nation tomorrow. Show it to me. But you can't show it to me. You can't show it to me. It's impossible. Because the only solution is right here. I guarantee you brothers, especially you brothers, the sisters too is good. But this type of warfare, the brothers are the ones on the front lines, the sisters support. You brothers come up in here and really put your brick in, and you will see a change in a short period of time. I guarantee it to you.
All right, thank you. Again, if you got any questions, if you want to be joining on the panel, just literally inbox me via Facebook or just leave me a comment, and I will get the link over to you if you would like to be onto the show, or if you want to actually ask a question, just tag my name with your question, and I will definitely try my best to actually sift through all the questions and comments that you've been leaving. But if you could just possibly leave at Titans TV so I can actually see it much more clearer. For everybody who's tuning in right now, please hit the like button. Hit the like button if you're loving the information that you're hearing so far. We've dropped a lot of solutions. We've identified the problem. You know, I think that's the first step. Is actually identifying the problem and not sugarcoating it, and actually identifying who our enemy is and what do we do next. How do we now best attack this problem? How do we best now come together to solve this situation and problem that we're constantly facing, living in a spiritual warfare of white supremacy that is surrounding all of us? So, in that being said, I would like to know, what is the critical mass for us to actually move forward as a people? Because how can I explain this? How can I best explain it? Right now, we always say that we're not physically ready, but what would be our tipping point to say, yes, we are ready to move and to have our own?
I understand. And I'll put this to you, all right? Do you remember last year, or the year before, when ISIS cut the head of James Foley off? You remember that?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, James Foley, American reporter. ISIS cut the head of James Foley off, and America went to war with damn near the whole Middle East, drop bombs on everybody. Everybody with a Quran. Everybody with a Quran got lit up. Whether it was with ISIS, without ISIS, you look like them, you done. That was it. Now, who gave that order? Barack Obama. He gave that order. He's in charge of this nation, and he's going to defend this nation. The man in charge of this nation is our King Yahanna. That's our king. And he's waiting on his nation to come together. He's waiting on his nation to get together and band together. It's not impossible. It's not an impossible feat. The Chinese live in different cities in America and have their own tongues with their own language and their own signs with their own handwriting, eating dog, cat, rat, lobster, cockroaches, scorpions, everything, frogs. And nobody bothers them, and they stick together. And let something go wrong, that Chinese leader will issue an order and they'll all fall. We come together, our king is going to issue the order. He's going to repeat, he's going to appear, make no mistake about it. And he is going to issue that order. That tipping point of striking back comes with our king, with our commander-in-chief. Until then, brother, we are the fight we have is more among ourselves than them. That fight we have is more amongst ourselves than them. The only reason they can kill us is because we separate. That's the only reason. Michael Brown died and we marched 2 years ago. What happened to hands up, don't shoot? Hands up, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot. And we're still marching. Because his life did not matter to black people. It didn't. As a nation. It didn't. Forget about the Hispanics down there. I mean, forget about them. We had to get everybody standing up. Now, when it happens that when they kill one of us, we all withdraw. We all don't show up. We all say, well, listen, we're going to take our money out of the economy. We all together. Brother, that's the point when we can do something. That's right. At this point, guerrilla warfare is nothing more than self-gratification. It's a cheap orgasm. That's what it is. Sorry to say it like that. Ain't no disrespect to nobody because I understand your pain and your frustration. But it's nothing more than a cheap orgasm. That's it. It's fleeting. It's 2 minutes in the backseat of a car. I'm looking for that all night long, rocking the bedpost. That's what I want. That's right. You understand? And that's what we're waiting for. The lives of 2 white people is not replacing 400 years of slavery. The life of 5 crooked cops. Them cops ain't even valued in America. Them 5 cops, who the hell cares about them? They ain't even valued. They put value on them now to calm the other officers. But nobody cares about those 5 devils. They don't care about them. That's right. 5 crooked cops does not replace 400 years of slavery, murder and rapings and lynches. What replaces it is getting power from the Most High and being able to sell a child for tithes. That's right. Sell a newborn baby for a hin of wine. That's right. Go and sell a whole country into slavery. For me to decide who eats and who does not eat. That's some get back. That's some power. That's what I want. Now I understand you want to go let off your AK. You think you could shoot when you really can't. But brother, that ain't the solution number 1. And you're going to get demolished because the Lord ain't going to be with you. Our tipping point is when our leader tells us go. When our leader tells us go. Right now we're building this thing up. We're going to have to be one nation first. One nation, one body first in order to strike back. Without it, every effort will be futile. Every single effort will be futile. You're going to get crushed. It's not going to be of any effect. Next year, if Christ ain't back yet and we ain't come together, there will be another Alton Sterling. There will be another Philandra Castile. There'll be 10 more Sandra Blands. Forget about the Native Indians who they're killing them. Young Native Indian sisters, putting them in the cop cars and beating their heads in, and it never makes the news. Never makes the news. People send us the local articles, the newspapers about it, but never makes the news. Now, brother, you go out there and you gun ho and shoot till your AK go click, 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 and then say black power and get laid out. I understand you. I understand you, brother, and I appreciate you at least being so enraged to want to do something, but that's not the solution.
That's right.
That's short-lived. That's right. Short-lived.
especially,
understand?
and I have to say, especially if you have such extraordinary training. You're in the military. You have such extraordinary training that is so vital to the nation. Why would you actually go out there and do that for a short-lived, as you said, it's literally, you know, a short-lived ejaculation. It's just fleeting.
It's just that. It's really self-gratifying. And Kalam, if I could go one further with you, it's important you brought out the military. Because even though with all these comments I'm seeing here, none of these brothers is taking guns and going out. How many brothers who just sitting at home or have a regular slavery and just go to the range every weekend is going out there with guns? None. These brothers who go out there is soldiers who returned home. And these soldiers who returned home, their motivation, the tip of the iceberg is police brutality. What really happened with those soldiers is that those were jilted lovers. Those brothers loved America and went into Esau's military, the white man's military and the British military, and thought that I am going to fight for the red, white, and blue. Hoorah! Semper Fi! And go to war and skydive over Iraq and kill sand niggers and kill towel heads. And then reach in the military and you on bathroom duty. And somebody calling you Cookie like Cuba Gooding Jr. And you a mechanic. You change the tires on the Humvee. And they abase you and call you nigger and good for nothing, even though you excel in every class in the military. And then you come back home and you sit in home, crazy out your mind, and realize this country that you love does not love you back. And you go to war because of that. Not because of Emmett Till. Not because of, what's the brother who they beat in LA? What's his name? Big LA kid, Rodney King. Not because of Arthur McDuffie. Not because of Mark Duggan. Not because of Sandra Bland. But because you try to love the white man. And the white man strung you along like a high school quarterback strings along the nerd girly class, uses her, and then throws her away. And you get your heart broken. And you take that military training and you go to war. And the white man knows this. That whole thing about soldiers returning home and being hooked on drugs and pills and stuff like that, that is a strategy to keep soldiers who are not active anymore ineffective. And that goes back as old as Rome, as old as the days of Rome. I'm going to give you some history on something. People look at the colors of these flags. The red and the blue from Britain and the white. In America is red, white, and blue. How many of the brothers who listening, everybody who talking about, yeah, well, we waiting on these brothers to come from the sky, how do you understand the red and the blue? The red and the blue was way back then when Julius Caesar would lead, they would lead an army into war. Julius went over to Gaul, which is today France, modern day France, Lower France. They won that war, and it was a major war. Now the common practice is when soldiers go to war, they would wear that red, signifying blood. The people, government officials and people who stayed home would wear the blue to signify government rulership and that they were at peace at home. Now the tradition was when the soldiers would come back home, they had to take the red off and put the blue on. Julius Caesar wanted to be called dictator for life, which means he would be in charge of the Roman army forever. At this time, Rome was then a republic. They didn't want to give him that power. They would say, nah, we vote everybody in. Caesar crossed the Rubicon, which is a river between Rome and France, what would be called France, dressed in red. And that was called an act of war. Till this day, that whole term of the point of no return, crossing the Rubicon, the die has been cast, comes from that action. And a great civil war in Rome between the soldiers returning home and those who stayed. And it was a clash, and Caesar won. Caesar won, and the Senate left Rome. They all left Rome, Pompey, and they left. And they were never ever brought to justice for it. And since then, Rome, give me the beast that exercised the power of the first beast in Revelation. And since then, Rome understands that these soldiers who come back home, I'm going to have to incapacitate them, because these men are trained in warfare, and above all, they're trained in being a unit, in being organized. And if they come back home and realize that we've been mistreating them and they're not getting their just deserves, they are going to take over. And that's every coup in every government forever. Every coup d'etat has been military takeover. A spurned military general who has loyal followers, who have men who can organize, that can take over. I lived through a coup in Trinidad in 1990. I understand it. You understand? I understand it. That thing that happened in Turkey, I lived through that thing a whole week long and watched people die, innocent people die. And that's what it is. So those brothers who came back home, yeah, Christopher Dorner 5 years ago, he said it was because they were beaten brothers. But you mean to tell me you don't know LAPD is known for police brutality? You are ex-Marine, you go join one of the most racist police force in America, and you shocked when they beat brothers? Nah. He went and served America and realized America didn't love him. Did not love him. And I guarantee you, these soldiers who was tripping out, they all got white women. Right? If not all of them, majority of them like Christopher Dorner. Right. This is a love affair with America, but because they are trained to kill, they go kill. And they get laid out and nothing happens. You understand? When that service could come back here. We need brothers who trained in self-defense and being organized in every ghetto, in every hood, in every barrio and reservation. That's what we need. That's what we need. And we have brothers in here like that. General Hazayan is ex-SWAT commander up in Philadelphia, brother. And he walked away from that police force and brought all his expertise in here. So you asking about what we gonna do, brother? You don't want to see what we could do. Right. Give us 1 million men. It's gonna be a wrap. Right. It's gonna be a wrap. There's other brothers. There's brothers in the UK, brother, who's walking off them forces and calling the school. You understand? So now understand this thing. You cannot love your oppressor. He went and did that because he was in love with America. He was in love with America, like a man who loves a woman and she rejects him. He goes and harms her so nobody else can have her when there's other women. You love America, you are going to give your life to America. You're going to go there and shoot cops and then yell something crazy and let them kill you, and you die feeling vindicated, meaning you got your revenge. Well, nigga, what about my revenge? If you dead, what about my revenge? When you go kill 5 cops, you leaving me here. Right. You leave your kids here, your wife. What about our revenge? Nah, my life ain't cheap. Them cops' lives might be cheap, but mine ain't cheap. Michael Brown life ain't cheap. Alton Sterling life ain't cheap. That's right. Philandro Castro life ain't cheap. Sandra Bland life ain't cheap. Mark Duggan life ain't cheap. God damn it, I'm gonna live to see the day when I can snatch a blonde-haired, blue-eyed little devil away from his suckling breast mother and sell him to Africa. I don't want no 5 cops. I don't want no pigs flying. I want pigs working on my plantation. That's right. And I'm willing to separate and wait on it. The ISUPK teaches patience. Wait. Wait on it. Wait on it. And when we get it, we're going to go full tilt. Full tilt. You understand?
So that leads me to the question, should, we got different people or different organizations or different people inside of our community as such. We have Hebrew Israelites, we have the Muslims, we have the NOI, we have the Black Panthers, the RBGs, all these different camps. Hopefully one of these days, we'll all be able to unite underneath one faction and one as one unit. But I want to know, should we be, how can I say, scouting or trying to have a concentrated effort of gaining those intellectual resources from people with inside of the military who knows fully well how these people actually work, fully well knows what type of COINTEL policies they have in place, whatever else that they have in place actually attack and denigrate black organizations. Should we have these people draw them in and have them in our organizations? Should we be taking people who are disgruntled from the banking system, from the media system, whatever system it is, and actually pull those resources and build ourselves up to know exactly how the devil works and how it operates and what type of countermeasures we can put in place, and have them train people within inside of the organizations to actually be proactive in their own field? Hopefully that makes a bit of sense.
I understand. What you're asking is, in the meantime, with all these different organizations and religious-based organizations, within there they have skilled men, military men, and men who are good in government and business and teaching and all these different skills, doctors, lawyers, whatever. How can we now harness those resources and come together? That's what you're asking? Kalam?
Yes.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. And what you're asking is, this is in the Bible, right? This is straight in the Bible. Moses grew up in Pharaoh's house, learned the ways of Pharaoh, was high ranking in Egypt. And even in historical books, one of them is Josephus, Moses was a general in the army and led the army into wars. He learned all the ways of Egypt and he rejected it. Paul, the Apostle Paul, who was not a white man, he was not a Roman, he was born in Rome, he was a Roman citizen, he was not a white man, he was a brother, a Benjamin, he would be from the Caribbean islands today. He grew up in Rome, learned the ways of Rome, learned the laws of the Bible, but left it, turned his back on whatever he grew up in. And that's what brothers is going to have to do. That's what brothers in the Nation of Islam is going to have to do. Brothers in Egyptology, the Black Panther Party, all of that. You're going to have to turn your back on, keep your skills. Because them skills, you're only good at it because you're Israelite. Not because of anything else. Because you're a prince of power. You're the chosen seed of the earth. You are the flavor. That's why you're so good. You're going to have to turn your back on that and come back to your nation. Give me the scripture you're talking about. Who have it?
Hebrews 11.
Come on, let's go.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 26. Esteeming the reproach of Christ.
Skip up a little bit more. Start 23.
Come on. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 23. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents.
Right. Go ahead.
Because they saw he was a proper child. And they were not afraid of the king's commandment.
Right. Which is what? The king commanded what? That every child under a certain age would be killed. Right. And they sought to protect Moses, much like what? Obama has made abortion legal. You understand? Where most of our sisters have bodies on them from being sexually active unlawfully at a young age. Right? Having multiple partners, switching girlfriends around. We're all guilty of it. And they have tons of abortions and they're killing our lives. You understand? And Moses' parents saw that they was not going to obey Pharaoh and rule and save him. Go ahead.
Verse 24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter.
Exactly. Moses refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. He's like, I don't want to be no Egyptian. I'm not an Egyptian. When he came to years, when he became a man, he understood who he was. And he refused to be called Muslim. He refused to be called Christian. He refused to be called American. He refused to be called British or Fruit of Islam or whatever else is out there that our people are involved in. Moses rejected it, and they should reject it too. All the famous leaders, they should reject it. The one thing, Muhammad Ali, Commander John Yahanna brought it out so heavy. Islam didn't make Muhammad Ali. Islam came after him, after Cassius Clay stood up.
That's right.
When Cassius Clay stood up and said what he said, that's when the nation came after him. It's because he was a black man living in oppression and was able to speak on behalf of his people. That's what made him special. And that's what we need to do. We need to reject these religions, man. We need to reject these way of life and these nationalities. and take on our true covering as Israelites. Keep going.
Verse 25. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
Read it one more time.
Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God.
Moses chose rather to suffer with the people of God. Go ahead.
Than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
Than to enjoy the pleasurable life in America for a season. And LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, they choose the pleasures of sin for a season. If you're not serving the Lord, you are rejecting to suffer with your people and to choose the pleasures of America for a time. And what is another pleasure of America? Murdering people for no reason. And that's what I'm telling you. You cannot go take up nothing to go after them. You're going to have to reject America and come down with your people. Get down in the mud with your people. Get down in there and pull them up, dust them off, and build this house up again. And you build this house up, brother, you're going to see some real power in that. So to answer your question, those people are going to have to reject those titles that made them great. Imam this and this, that, the other, and priest. You're going to have to reject that. You're going to get rid of that. MVP. You the MVP of the NBA because you could dunk and niggas dying. You can't even open your mouth because you're going to lose your damn check. You got no power. You're going to have to reject it.
When the bullets run out, where they going to get it from?
Exactly. And now, of course, the brother doesn't remind me, when your bullets run out, what are you going to do? You're going to say, black power? Nah. There's prophets in the Bible here who called fire down from heaven. Who called fire from heaven.
That's right.
There's prophets in the Bible who said, yeah, today you're going to die, and the person dropped dead in front of their face. You're going to get spiritual power. This ain't no magic thing, and we still going to have that K to back it up. Right. We're still going to have that Kalashnikov, and what's the other one I like? The Kel-Tec. We're still going to have it to back it up. But we're going to for sure have to come together and reject everything that allows us the pleasures of sin for a season. I'd rather suffer with my brothers in the hood than to live a day as an American or a Briton or Jamaican or Trinidadian or Puerto Rican or Brazilian or a fruit of Islam or a Nuwapian or whatever. I'd rather suffer with Philandro Castile.
That's right.
It wasn't no Muslim that died that there was a nigger. I'd rather suffer with Sandra Bland. There was no Baptist that died that there was a nigger. It was Hispanics and Native Indians. I'll suffer with them first. I'm going to take on these filthy titans. I'll suffer with my people and build my people up and deliver revenge on a plate. Deliver a full belly. Revenge on a plate. Not 5 cups. I'm talking about walking Donald Trump like a dog.
That's right.
Walking, was the young president, James Cameron. Walk him like a dog through the streets. Walk him like a dog. That's what I'm talking about.
Powerful, powerful. All right, we're literally reaching the end of our show right now. If you've been enjoying the show so far, please give us a big thumbs up. Let us know. Let us know in the comments as well that you're enjoying the show as well. We definitely want to know that. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually open up the panel real briefly for the last questions or comments, because literally we've reached the end of the show. So if anybody has any last minute questions or comments that they would like to give, please address it to our brother Mashak Mayam, and then we have to hand it over to him, and then we have to close, okay? So please, if you got any last minute questions, please ask it away. I see you guys up there. Nana Amma, we've got Monica, we've got B, Decathy, MBK. Who else we got in the building? We've got so many people in the building right now. I'm reading your comments, but please just tag me if you've got any last minute questions. Kufu, if you're there, if you've got any last minute questions or comments, please ask away, because we have to close down. All right. No questions? Okay. So I'm going to hand it over to Brother Mashak Mayam. Brother, if you've got anything else that you would like to convey to our audience, I'm literally leaving this open to you right now, and then afterwards we'll have to close down.
Definitely. I understand that everyone is at a point where we need that instant gratification. You got to understand, we've been suffering this thing for 400 years. You want action now. I'm giving you the action now. You come together. You find the ISUPK and you come together. You don't see us getting laid out in the street, but we will go to war for anybody or one of us who does get laid out. You don't see us getting murdered in the street. You don't see our women getting raped and left in the streets to die. But anybody or any one of our people, we will make a stand for them. Don't get me wrong. You want something done, you come to the ISUPK. And if you don't want to come to the ISUPK and asking for emotional yelling and screaming, they've been killing us, bring something that proves who we are, that prophesies our condition, and gives the solution. I've brought it to you. I've showed you the Bible prophesied this would happen. I've showed you the Bible prophesied the white man is the devil. And I showed you the Bible told us the solutions for it. And black people, you're going to learn one way or another. Separation is the only thing. The white man is separating in every single way. America is separating through Donald Trump. The European is separating. That European Union is going to fall apart. There's no end. There's no more EU. Everyone is separating and turning to their own. When are we going to turn to our own? How long are we going to love these East Indians, these Africans, these Chinese? When are we going to now stop loving them and turn to our own? You come and serve the Lord, brother. You are going to have slaves and be able to walk these devils like a dog. You will be able to put a white man to death for looking at you. And I'm talking about 5 cups. That ain't enough. If that's enough for you, you don't love black people. If that's enough for you, if you want to take up someone and kill go 20 white people, you don't love black people. I want a nation. I want to see them have sex and make babies, and that baby is my slave. You understand?
That's right.
I want to hear them knocking boots in the barn, and 9 months later, I take that baby and sell it into slavery. That's what I want, like they did to us. I want to pull them over and pull them out in the street and have them on the floor and violate and kick them in their heads when Christ comes back. Now, you want to go give up that for instant gratification? You really don't love black people. You really love yourself. It's a selfish move. It's totally selfish and not really thinking on a level to lead a nation. We learn from Commanding General Yahanna to lead who learn from Christ. And with that said, I'm going to say for sure, death to the white man by the hands of God. May God bathe the streets of America in the blood of him and his children for what they did to black, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Powerful show. Powerful show right there. You know what? We're signing off right now. But real quickly, brother, please just give everybody some further information of where they can find ISUPK, and then we're going to sign out.
Once again, you can find ISUPK, isupk.com. That's our website. You go on YouTube, you type in ISUPK, you're going to find all our videos. You can find us on Facebook, the Israelites School of UPK, ISUPK videos. You anywhere you are, just type ISUPK and we are there. Contact the school, send an email. There's numbers to each city that we're in available on the YouTube and on our website. Support the truth. I just want to give a plug for this weekend. Captain Tazaria up there in New York doing a major event, having the cookout where we feed black people and invite people to come on in and see what it is like to be with the prophets of the Lord. Because you'll see us on the TV all the time, on the YouTube and on the hear us on the radio. You come sit with us, and the next day he is doing a powerful lecture on child molestation and how it permeates our society through a lot of these black organizations. He's taking on that whole Africa Bambata. They're going to have Poppy in the house talking about it. And these same brothers will say, let's take up guns and go kill. So we're going to kill the white man but molest our kids? Nah, that ain't going to happen. And we're going to tackle this problem from all sides. Now, either you're going to stand with us or you're going to stand against us. But either way, brother, this ship is moving forward. You better get on board.
I know. All right. Well, this has been Talk with the Titans. I've been your host, Kalam, and we're signing out. Peace and love to you all. Peace.